Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by GTN, featuring interviews and events happening around town. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or SoundCloud so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro City government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and with me today, as always, at the round table, Rosemary Blyben.
Hello, feeling folksy today?
Oh, yes, very much
I bet
so.
you are. Yeah, well, the North Carolina Folk Festival is coming back to Greensboro live and in person. More than 300 artists descending on downtown Greensboro for 3 days of celebrating music, dance, crafting, and your very favorite, Josh, food.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love me some folk festival.
Yes, and the food that comes with it. Just the smell, it brings
Everything.
you out. Yeah. All right, Amy Grossman, President and CEO of North Carolina Folk Festival. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Amy, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, always like to start with, what is folk?
Folk is a very broad term.
It is.
And it refers to people. And the way that we kind of explore folk and people is how they choose to express their cultural roots and traditions through music, through dance, through food, so through other ways of just publicly expressing that. That's what we do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm from, North Carolina. Folk is people.
Mm-hmm.
There's folk over there.
That's right.
And there's some folks
Folks at this
coming
table.
over. There's folk at this table. All right, Amy, let's talk about the lineup. It's fantastic. So, I could go down to like the top 3 lists, but I'm just going to let you do it. So, give us the headliner, or give us one of the more popular that I'm looking forward to seeing.
How about you just say it then, Josh?
It's going to be George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics.
That's right. So Saturday night, we're incredibly excited that George Clinton accepted our invitation to be part of the lineup this year. So yes, George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic is going to be capping off performances Saturday night on the city stage. And George Clinton he's kind of been on my wish list for several years. People know him as the grandfather of funk. He's been all over the world, but you know what? He was born in North Carolina. He is
cool.
from Kannapolis.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And, so I personally feel like, and he may not agree with me, but I'm going to say I feel like this could be a homecoming for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Sam Bush, pretty big name too.
Yep.
Sam Bush is really popular in the bluegrass, old time new grass. He is like one of the fathers of new grass music, which takes bluegrass and just gives it a really contemporary sound. But he's going to be capping off performances on Friday night, so we're again excited that Sam Bush is going to be joining us.
Yeah, and true folk festival tradition, Future Birds I'd never heard of, but I am now currently
they're very
listening
popular.
to them.
Yeah.
They're very good. I really like them.
Yeah, that's one that might surprise some people. In addition to George Clinton being a surprise, that we would consider that folk. It is folk.
Yeah.
The Future Birds. What I really liked about them, an acquaintance of mine suggested them to me, and I checked them out, and I was like, I really like their sound. And as I read more about them and read about their origins from Athens, Georgia, which is a big college town. Y'all know, UGA, the whole thing. I was like, they come out of that whole legacy of music making from that town, from REM and all those other folks. And I was like, that's a really interesting, special story. And so I'm again really excited they're gonna be with us on Sunday.
And so many other artists. So I know, just give us kind of a highlight of some of your favorites, just that kind of pull in influences from all over the world. We have people coming from all over the world to perform here in Greensboro.
Well, I will preface this by saying I'm like a mother. I don't have any favorites.
I know.
But
I love them all.
I love them, and I do.
I know.
But, a couple just that, I think people could get excited about. There's going to be music that people are familiar with. There's also going to be some things that they may not be familiar with. So we hope people bring some curiosity. But for those who are looking for the familiar, we always bring some Celtic music. So we've got Karen Casey, who is just an absolutely wonderful Irish singer. She's going to be joining us. Some other, great, local things that are familiar, gospel music. Not only are we going to have this young 10-year-old singer from Greensboro named Caleb Serrano performing at the festival, the North Carolina A&T Fellowship Gospel Choir is also going to be performing.
Yes.
So we're really excited to host them. For the things that may be less familiar to people, we have a group called Kwan Kwa. They're coming from Ethiopia. So excited about that. And also a group that I'm particularly excited about. I was introduced to this group by a colleague of mine in Texas, Kiko Villamisar, and he is Colombian, and he performs cumbia music with a contemporary flair. So if people know what cumbia is, it's very danceable. It's a part of Tex-Mex, but it originates from Colombia, and that's what Kiko carries forward. And he's gonna be stirring it up with people dancing at the festival.
So much fun.
So, tell us a little about Songs of Justice and Hope.
So, Songs of Hope and Justice.
Hope and Justice. Sorry.
Is that is a concert that we have been doing as part of the festival, usually as a kickoff to the festival since the first year, and. This year, we're going to be doing it in the Van Dyke Performance Space. We always work with Lauren Lynn Dossett, who is a local musician, and she invites a number of different artists to come together. They sing songs about hope and justice, but civil rights, definitely with that kind of feel to it. And we're going to be doing that again this year. Lauren Lynn's inviting a number of performers to be part of that, including Reese Palmer, who's a great country musician from Durham. I think Charlie Lowry is going to be there, Alice Gerard, and then some local folks. Sam Freibush is going to be part of it. So it's just going to be a really great kind of celebration, honoring, commemoration of civil rights through song.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Really great kickoff for sure. Okay, I promised Josh we would talk about food. So let's do it.
So food, like we do every year, we've got lots of food trucks and other food concessionaires who are going to be providing a variety of flavors for people to try out. A lot of, from different Asian cuisines to Latin, Salvadoran empanadas to, all kinds of stuff. In addition, as you both know, being Greensboro residents, we have some great restaurants downtown.
Oh, yeah.
So, given the proximity of the festival to downtown Greensboro, there's a great opportunity. If someone wants to have a sit-down and meal, do it. The restaurants are going to be serving all weekend, and we just hope people get to taste all those different flavors.
I had oxtail for the first time at Folk Festival. It's fantastic.
Delicious.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And the easiest way to get around while you're folk festivaling for all the folks to get around is using the app, right?
That's right. The best way to just kind of view the schedule, view the map, read about the performers, and engage with the festival is with our mobile app. We will have some printed programs available, but we're really trying to encourage people to use that app. It's an incredibly great tool. Will help you navigate the site itself physically, but also just kind of map out your plan of attack.
Right.
Who do you want to see when, and how do you make sure you get there in time?
It's like Disney World.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
Well, folks can go to ncfolkfestival.com. Can they get the app there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can get it on your
They can
phone.
also search Google Play, the
Right.
App Store, look for NC Folk Fest, and we'll have a lot of great information continuously updating all the way up until the date of the festival.
Fantastic. And I can say at the website at ncfolkfestival.com, the lineup has got all the performers, and I think each one of them has like a YouTube, so you can kind of hear the music.
That's right.
Free
A little
fantastic.
sample.
Everybody go check that out because it's really cool.
Amy, thank you for spending a little time with us. The folksiest person we know. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for
It's a
coming.
compliment.
Stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And don't forget you can download Talk City from SoundCloud.
That is our time for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to share it with your friends and watch GTN, your official source for news and information about the city of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13
AT&T U-verse Channel 99.
and North State Channel 31.
GTN also streams live on Roku and the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov.